So how's everything been going, man?
Everything's going good. Yeah, we've been just doing this week-long of shows, and it's been, really cool. We're doing like festivals and our own shows, and we're getting ready just to do, keep going with these cool shows. I love it. These are my favorite kind of shows because it's summertime, and you're seeing your friends you haven't seen in a long time. So I love playing these shows in the heat and all that stuff. It's my favorite.
Yeah, well, Friday night opening for Kiss.
Yeah.
So does that bring out like the inner 10-year-old John 5?
Of course.
When you do that?
Absolutely. So 100% yes. So they texted me right away, like, Zombie's manager saying we're going to open up for Kiss, and I was so excited, of course, they're my heroes, and so I'm super excited for that.
Now, because, so last year before, you did a recording with Ace.
Yeah.
Starting out, you were with, Roth, and I know Van Halen was an influence also.
Yeah.
Does that ever just seem surreal, growing up, having all your heroes, now, you're right there with them?
Absolutely. I wouldn't have dreamt this, I really didn't think any of this would be true. If someone told me this, I'd be like, that is impossible, because I used to think these guys were superheroes and they didn't even exist, so even in my wildest dreams I wouldn't have dreamt something like that. No way, so I don't take it for granted, and I'm so lucky to be doing what I'm doing, that's for sure.
Because you originally planned when you moved out to LA to just be a studio musician.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to do. Because that's all that, I had my sights out for, is just to be a studio guy. Because I thought being a well-known musician was like, it was impossible. I didn't even try for it. And then I kept doing sessions and all these sessions, and then that turned into, hey, you want to come on tour? And, that's how the ball started to roll.
Now, last time we talked, I think we were about 8 months out from Season of the Witch coming out, and you told me, your plan was try to release a video, every month up to the release of that.
Yeah.
Did you accomplish that?
I got about 6 videos in, so for about 6 months. And then, touring life happened and all that stuff, so it got in the way. But, I did put out a lot of videos. That's a lot of videos to put out for one record.
Yeah, now my favorite so far, Adam, was Hell Haw.
Yeah.
So for you, what was your favorite?
Either Hell Haw or Here's to the Crazy Ones, where we dressed up like, Planet of the Apes.
Which is fitting since, there's a renewed interest in the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. And, Hell Haw was really a lot of fun. I thought that was really cool.
No, just watch it, because I remember when I was a kid, spending weekends at my grandparents' house, me and my grandpa would always sit and watch Hee Haw. And then, it was horror movies Friday nights.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
So that kind of had it all.
Same thing with us, the same thing with all the kids, and, it's just what everybody did back then. Watch Hee Haw, watch monster movies, and, that's what the families did.
But yeah, that was like I said, that was my favorite. Now I was kind of disappointed that I didn't, because or if you did do one, I didn't come across it for Guitarist Hits and Monsters.
No, we haven't. But everybody's
there's just so
asking
much
for
that
one.
could be open for that one.
I know. So that might be in the future.
Okay. And actually, I missed you on your last time through Indianapolis. It was just a couple of months ago. I think one of our guys did come out and cover the show.
Yeah.
But strangely enough, you came up because I was covering in this moment when they're on tour. Met one of your former bandmates from Loser, Charles.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we were
doing?
playing with Gemini Syndrome.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
And like I said, Loser we were talking. I said, yeah. I said, John 5's in town tonight too. And he said, I used to be in a band with him.
Yeah.
And he was telling me, so I looked him up later, and I said that one I don't know how I missed it. So I looked up some videos. I mean, it's great stuff, but nothing was ever released, was it?
No, the reason why is we got signed to Island Records, and then they said, okay, well, it's either Rob Zombie or Loser. Which one do you want to do? And I said, let's do Rob Zombie. And so 13 years later, here we are.
So is there any plan to ever possibly go back and release any of that?
No, I don't think there's. Island owns it, so I don't think so.
Okay. Also, the other thing, 31 hadn't been out yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was something you scored.
Yeah.
I know you did Lords of Salem and that.
Right.
Have you scored anything other than those two so far?
I did a lot of work for like TV shows, like Baywatch and just TV shows like that. You know, I would do some guitar sessions and commercials and all that stuff. That's how I made a living back then. So I would just do all these TV shows and, you know, sometimes not even credited, you know. So it's just what I did all the time, you know, because I was a studio musician. So I would just go in and play for the day. What are we playing for today? You know, and so they would tell us, and a lot of movies and things like that. It was pretty boring to do like those TV shows and things like that. You know?
Okay. So what's kind of the process of, you know, scoring when you watch it with no music and just figure out what fits where? Or,
Well, luckily we got the great thing about doing it with Rob is I would get a cue sheet and he would say, oh, this is what I want, and this is how I want it, and this is how long I want it. And so it was great doing it that way because, you know, all you need to do is follow the directions, and it was great. So it was really a great way to do it.
so what would be more difficult? You know, like with 31, you know, using songs from the 70s or scoring all original music?
Well, I mean, scoring original music is difficult because you have to create a mood and create a tension and create, you know, either sadness or, you know, something very intense. So it's really hard to create those emotions with just music. So it's tough, and you have to learn not to overplay or to play, you know, you can't play too much, you know, so.
Okay, and it's like this, you know, I know that with you know, Rob's show, there's always, you know, a lot of production to it. How much workup do you guys have going into it? I mean, you know, like, hey, at this particular point in the song, I can't be right here.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Yeah, we have, you know, there's pyro, there's, sometimes we have a set list that says, oh, we have pyro here. So just, you know, keep your eye out. And so you have to remember that, you know, on top of what you're doing and all that stuff. And but sometimes you have like a red light that'll go off, but usually it's just on the set list saying, you know, Super Beast pyro. So meaning, hey, watch out, you know, because it's sometimes behind us or in front of us or on the side of us. So you gotta really be on your toes, or it could be catastrophic for sure.
So a few people have learned that the hard way.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And I do play, and I don't know if it's new. I've not seen this guitar. I've only seen it in videos. You have one with lasers now?
Yeah.
Is that new?
Laser guitar, yeah, and it's tough to use because you can. It has to be completely dark, and it has to be really foggy. You know, a lot of smoke, and it has to. But you can only use it for a little bit because once you play, then the lights will go on. So then the effect won't work that well. So I don't know if I'll use it tonight. It depends on how much. If there's a lot of wind, since we're outside tonight, it won't work because that'll blow the fog away, and so the laser won't work. But I'll give it the old try.
Yeah, so now this, I mean, there's not a lot of open area in this, but like I said, when I have seen fog used here, it stayed pretty good unless you get a storm come through.
Yeah, we'll
and
see.
then it gets windy.
Yeah.
So any other new guitars other than that one?
That's the newest, really cool special guitar.
So how much time do you spend? Do you tinker with them yourself, or you tell like Alithia, hey, I want this?
Yeah, I'll say I want this. Yeah, and is it possible? And will it blind somebody? Will it do this? Will it do that? Will it, bring an airplane down? Will it, So it's all these things you have to go through.
No, and Motley on their last tour, Nicky had his flamethrowing bass. Have you
Right.
thought about having fired any of the tellies?
No, because then you have to have a fire marshal and you have to have all these things. So they had that, but yeah, that's a whole nother thing.
So has there been one that you've had the vision for, just didn't work out?
Not really, because I really put in everything I wanted to create. I put a lot of thought into. Is this possible? Is it, is this doable? So everything I pretty much put in line, it's worked out.
Okay. Now, like the lava lamp guitar.
Yeah.
You know, how does that work? I mean, because most guitars, you know, everybody likes the nice tonal wood.
Yeah.
Of course, there's no wood there. So,
Yeah.
So how do you get the
It
sound?
sounds great. You know,
Yeah.
it's plexi, and then there's actually antifreeze inside the lava guitar, because it's so it won't freeze when we ship it overseas, like in the winter. So it actually won't freeze because of antifreeze. And then there's a light in there, and then I'll play it, you know, with the black light, with the like a blue light on stage, so it really illuminates great.
Okay.
So a lot goes into it every time you play something, you know. So a lot goes into it. Like my light up guitar, the first thing we did was, first time was they put the lights in, but then they lacquered over the lights. But you can't do that because how are you going to change the lights when there's lacquer over it? So there had to be another one built where they put a piece of plexiglass over the lights, so you could just take that off and change out a light.
Now, going like say your signature guitar,
Yeah.
the Squire model.
Yes.
Did you have a lot of input?
Absolutely, yeah.
Because that, you know, most people when they think of Squire, they think, hey, beginner guitar, you know, practice guitar, not a touring guitar. I actually know a touring guitarist that plays one of yours.
Yeah.
And, you know,
No,
it's like
those
you just
guitars
don't
are
see it.
incredible. They're incredible. I love those guitars. They sound great. I would use it a lot.
Like I said, I've never heard anything but good about those.
Yeah, it's a really great guitar.
Now the only thing I did notice, and I've not physically seen one of the Gold Frost, just in pictures. Now like the one that's modeled after yours, you know, I saw last time when we were at the Vogue, but it looks a lot like more yellow.
Yeah.
Is it more yellow, or is it closer to what you actually
Well,
have?
the Squires look way better than mine, because
Really?
now mine looks like crap because I've used it so much, you know, and it kind of looks like a really dull, you know, gold, but the Squire version looks way better than mine, you know. So I wish I had that, you know, paint color on mine, because I think it turned out way better on the Squire than it did on the original guitar that I play all the time.
So you're kind of limited on time. So you have any other projects coming up?
Actually, I do have some projects coming up, but I wanted to, you know, do the video with you guys, of course, but I will tell you about it. I'm not going to say anything about it until probably near the, you know, like October, November, but I have some really big stuff coming up, so it's going to be pretty cool.
All right.
But I'll let you know for sure.
All right.